My name is Mike Cooper, President of St. Tammany Parish Government. Thank you for being here this morning. I want to thank our local TV media and newsprint media for covering this. And I want to thank our PIO and Public Information Office for covering this as well. Here with me this morning is Clarence Poe, Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, Chief Administrative Officer Gina Hayes, St. Tammany Parish Government, and Scott Huffman, who is providing for the hearing impaired this morning. And we thank him for his services as well. But I'd like to give a brief update on where we are today with regards to the former Marco, Tropical Storm Marco, and the Hurricane Category 1 Laura, which has just entered the Gulf and is making its way towards the southwest coast of Louisiana and the far east coast of Texas, Sabine Pass to be more specific. We are quite fortunate that we have been able to avoid any destruction or any major effects of Marco, which is now dissipated. And I want to thank particularly our St. Tammany Parish government for the work that they did in preparations for Marco. I also want to thank our residents and citizens for taking the preparations necessary to protect themselves from the effects of Marco. And again, we are quite fortunate that we have avoided any major effects from that storm. Looking ahead, we have Laura in our sights, but not directly at St. Tammany Parish. Our main concern with Laura at this time is the storm surge that is projected for Lake Pontchartrain, starting tomorrow, going perhaps for the next 2 days because of the strong south winds that are projected from Hurricane Laura. This will affect inland in the Madisonville area, Mandeville, Lacombe, and Slidell areas that are prone to flooding when we have such events. So I ask our citizens to continue to take precautions for storm surge. Our Public Works Department is working nonstop in clearing drainage features, pumping our ponds down for any effects of rain that may be coming in as well. And Tammany Utilities, our water and sewage utility company, is staging generators and equipment for any effects that may happen during this storm as well. We're still working to ensure those who may experience predicted storm surge with Laura to prepare for this event. Public Works has barricades and high water signs pre-positioned as well in case they are needed for streets that may be subject to flooding with rain. So in addition to the storm surge, we are also predicting 1 to 4 inches of rain throughout the Laura event, which could be over a period of 1 to 2 days. So we ask our citizens to be prepared for that. We have a direct number for those citizens that may be experiencing flooding once we start experiencing storm surge and such. They may call the Emergency Operations Center here in Covington at 985-898-2323 and speak to one of our critical response team members in the event that happens. The St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office, as they have in past events, will have high water vehicles and boats stationed in strategic locations throughout the parish, and they are ready to respond as well. Department of Public Works is monitoring and still providing Sandbag locations for self-serve, particularly knowing that we may be experiencing storm surge in the future. We still have those 6 sandbag locations available to the public. They are self-serve. However, we do have employees and volunteers at the 6 locations. The Airport Barn in Slidell, the Covington Barn, the Fritchie Barn in Pearl River, the Keller Barn in Lacombe, and the Coop Drive Complex in Mandeville off of Highway 59. We ask our citizens, even today, if you have not gotten your sandbags and you feel that they will be beneficial to you, to please take advantage of this. Currently, the parish operations at our facilities, North Shore Beach is closed to the public. Bayou Lacombe Bridge on the Tammany Trace is closed. The Tammany Trace is closed. Camp Salmon is closed. The fishing pier in Slidell is closed. And the Kids Connection Playground remains closed as well. Star Transit has not yet resumed operations. The call center is rescheduling and receiving appointments for when they do reopen this week and for next week. Coastal Environmental, again, has suspended recycling this week, and the garbage pickup schedules continue, but may be modified based on the weather. All 22nd judicial courts are closed today and Wednesday. St. Tammany Parish libraries are closed today. St. Tammany Parish public schools, of course, are closed. They will open for the first time after Labor Day, as per schedule. The employees and staff of St. Tammany Parish public schools are closed today, and I would refer to their website to get further information regarding St. Tammany Parish public schools. With regard to the private and parochial schools in our parish, I would refer to the websites of those particular schools, as well as those schedules are varying depending on the weather that they're experiencing or that they may experience. They're monitoring it as well. Another number that our citizens may refer to get storm updates during this time is 985-809-2300. And citizens may also follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website that's particularly highlighted for storm updates, www.stpgov.org/storm. Please go to that website and you will see all of our updates regarding that. I also want to give a brief update on COVID in St. Tammany Parish at this time and how we're dealing with COVID. We want our citizens to keep the COVID-19 precautions that we have in place first and foremost, particularly as we go through this this hurricane season, and particularly now. Continue to slow the pace, cover your face. We have actually seen that it is making a difference. Hospitalizations are gradually declining, and we're seeing improvements in the case numbers day by day, especially since the mask mandate. Our percent of positivity of tests has also gone down approximately 11.3% over a 2-week period from July 30th to August 12th. In Region 9, which includes a 5-parish area on the North Shore, hospitalizations as of August 24th, yesterday, were at 112, and hospitalizations with patients on vents was at 15. Those numbers, again, are a great indicator of what wearing a mask is providing, what the precautions our citizens are taking, and the effect that it has on our hospitals and the doctors and nurses and hospital staff that are working each and every day to treat our citizens. According to the Louisiana Department of Health, the number of COVID hospitalizations across the state has dropped below 1,000. And as of yesterday, around the state, we're at 939. So we're seeing our numbers dropping, and the steps that we're taking, and the steps that our citizens are taking are making a difference in this regard. I'm going to call on Clarence Poe, Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, to give a brief update. And Gina may give an update on parish government as we move forward. And I will have closing remarks and open for questions and answers after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to thank our first responders that not only just for this event, but on a day-to-day basis, stand ready to protect and serve the citizens of St. Tammany Parish. We know they do an outstanding job, and they're always there no matter what it is, whether it's an event like this, tornadoes, hurricanes, hazmat spills, or whatever the case may be. I think we all should be proud of all of our first responders. Back to Laura. Okay, it's not a time to let your guard down. Okay, continue to prepare for Laura. Parish President gave you a lot of information on exactly the effects of what we're looking at. Just because we're outside of that cone doesn't mean that we should let our guard down. We're still looking at the possibilities of the rain bands that could extend out away from the storm as they come in. Be ready for those. Be ready to take those necessary precautions to protect your property, especially those out there in the low-lying areas. So I want to make sure that we stay vigilant, we continue to prepare, and not let our guard down for this event. Our ELC is still activated at a partial level, and it will stay activated through the duration of this event. So we'll continue to monitor. Right now, with the rain chances we're looking at 1 to 4 inches of rain, and tomorrow we're looking at probably about 80% chance of that happening. So we can't let our guard down. Let's continue to stay vigilant on exactly what's going on and continue to prepare for Laura as it gets here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to announce that St. Tammany Parish Government, all offices of St. Tammany Parish Government will be reopened tomorrow, back to our new normal standards with COVID. I also wanted to announce that the Parish Council Agenda Review Committee meeting will be held tomorrow night, as well as the Finance Committee meeting and the Appeals meetings. Those will be held on Coop Drive in the council chambers. Please bring an umbrella. Because of COVID, we can only allow so many people in the building. So there may be some times where you'll have to stand out under the porte cochere in front of the building. So you should be somewhat protected, but I would bring some rain gear just in case. And thank you very much.
Thank you all. Those are great precautions to heed, and we're happy to be able to open up parish government again. We feel that the weather will allow us to do so that we can continue to serve our citizens in any way. And we ask our citizens to please get in touch with us if we can be of service otherwise. And at this point, I'll open up to questions. Rob.
Mike, water is already up right now, I guess, and you or Clarence might have a better indication of this, but it's coming on the Lakeshore Drive in Mandeville. That is going to be for Marco, I would imagine, and not Laura. So the question is, you know, how much higher is the water right now, and how worried are you about more of a push from Laura adding to that?
I'll answer first, and then I'll call on Clarence to add to that. If the models that we get from the National Weather Service actually showed a 2 to 4 foot storm surge with Marco. Even as of yesterday. Today, the models are showing, even with the effects of Marco, that we can still expect a 2 to 4 foot storm surge along Lake Pontchartrain. So those are the numbers that we're looking at, and those are the numbers that our citizens should be familiar with. They're already expecting to get water coming in several blocks as normally do in the Mandeville area, and of course the areas in Slidell, those neighborhoods that normally receive water during this time can expect to do so as well. Clarence, anything further?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, that 2 to 4 feet surge, the probability there, you know, as Laura come in, you know, we're hoping that here in the next 24 hours, some of that will start to decrease some, not for certain, but there's that possibility that it can increase just a little bit. We looked at the rivers and everything to make sure that the rivers were okay. We got quite a bit of capacity that's in our rivers right now, so we don't foresee any issues there. But when you have the high tides that come in like that, and you have the surge that come in, especially if it's high tide, then it can prevent the water flow that's coming out of the rivers. So we'll continue to monitor that. Looking at the malls and things right now, we don't see any problem with our rivers and storm surge probability. It was expected to come in early this morning, so that's what you're seeing out there on the front, on the lakefront.
But Clarence, just to be clear, are you talking about 2 to 4 off of Marco and 2 to 4 off of Laura, or does the 2 to 4 off of Laura build on top of what's already here from Marco?
Right, that is built on top of Marco. Okay, we're talking 2 to 4. Now, if the winds stay like that and they continue to maintain that surge and keep pushing in, if you got 2 foot, 3 feet, and then Laura comes in, it can add to that. So it has the possibility of increasing some. But right now, the forecast is still predicted at 2 to 4 feet.
Thank you.
Mike,
Justin.
do you know if the sheriff's department's going to be sending anyone or crew to help out in the south and then in the west?
Oh, I'm not quite sure about that. I understand the question now. Are they gonna send dispatch there to help in the Lake Charles area and such? I would pose that question to Sheriff Randy Smith. I do know that they are pre-positioned to help our citizens here, but as in previous cases, they may actually do that.
And has the parish been asked to help out in any way for the citizens from southwest Louisiana?
Not at this time, but we will reach out to the parish presidents and the mayors in that area to see if we can assist. But of course, we're still vigilant for what's happening here as well. I would like to also just emphasize that, again, we're restoring operations at Coop Drive tomorrow and the Towers Building in Slidell tomorrow for those essential employees and non-essential employees who can come to work. The decision to hold the scheduled parish council meeting was made just a little while ago by Council Chairman Mike Lorino of the St. Tammany Parish Council based on the 10 o'clock report of the National Weather Service and the information that we have as well. I do feel that it will be safe and agree that it will be safe for our employees and those of the parish council staff and our staff to go to and hold that meeting tomorrow night, as well as for our citizens who may be attending the meeting particularly for the appeal section of the special parish council meeting, that they will be provided a safe shelter for attending this meeting tomorrow night. So those decisions were made based on our citizens, first and foremost, to be able to come to this meeting, those who are the petitioners of the cases, and for the Finance Committee meeting. These are all things that are essential in moving forward parish government during these times. So any other questions?
Would you say
Sarah?
at this point that any impacts from Marco were marginal at best? Didn't close any streets down or anything like that?
Yes, definitely. The perfect example that the effects were marginal. We had prepared for, storm surge. We did not get the storm surge, even though we see the waves coming up a little bit on Lake Shore. We didn't get the 2 to 4 feet of Marco that was experienced. And the rain, we saw what we expected to get, what actually happened in Mississippi Gulf Coast, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle, they received the rain that we thought we were going to get. So yes, those effects were minimal that for Marco, and now our concentration is on Laura, and of course there's 95% agreement that Laura is going to go where it said it's going, and will probably hit at a major hurricane status, which is a Cat 3. And I might add too that, you know, while we're avoiding the effects of Marco and Laura, hopefully, that our thoughts go out to those who are going to receive the brunt of this. And as Governor Edwards said yesterday, you know, he is very, very concerned, because once it hits the Sabine Pass and goes northward, it's going to clearly, at a Cat 3, will be barreling through the state, going northward through Shreveport, and hopefully the effects of that storm are minimized as it proceeds northward through the state. Well, thank you. If there are no other questions, we'll close out this press conference. Unless conditions change and warrant, we will not have this tomorrow morning at 10:30, as we have the past 2 days, including this morning, so that in the event there are further news or updates to be obtained from St. Tammany Parish government, Amy Bouton, Public Information Officer, will be able to get that information out to you. Again, I thank you for covering this on behalf of St. Tammany Parish. Thank you.